So, student, let's start the explanation of second stanza, that is consisting of another 8 lines. So, let me read these lines for you all. So, the line says like, on sour cream walls, donations, Shakespeare head, cloudlets at dawn, civilized dome riding all cities, build flowery, tireless valley, open-handed map, awarding the world its world, and yet for these children, these windows, not this map, their world, where all their futures painted with fog, a narrow street sealed in with a lead sky, far, far from rivers, capes, and stars of words. So, in this stanza, the poet describes the dirty classroom. Here you can see the word on sour cream walls. I mean, the wall supposed to be not at all well structured. The walls of the classroom are pale and dirty, and they actually gives a kind of unpleasant feeling to them. Now on the walls are displayed the name of the people who actually have given donations, and also there is a picture of Shakespeare in the wall. You can see in the lines over here. The pictures of domes of big cities represent the quality of life in those cities, and the early morning sky is shown as cloudless in another picture. So this is a explanation of the first 2 lines you can see over here. Now again there is a line, build flowery tireless valley. So there is also a picture of a beautiful tireless valley which is found in Australia, a valley, a region you can say in the Austrian Alpine province, and that seems to be adorned with the flowers. And this particular world map, which divides the world into countries, a big or a small you can say, symbolically gives the children the whole world. And but all these pictures have no meaning to these you can say impoverished children. The world depicted on these walls is not the world of these children. Their world does not contain huge domes, or you can say prosperity or scenic beauty presented in the picture. Unfortunately, you can say their world is painted with fog, as you can see the lines over here, and the fog, which is of course of hopelessness and hunger, and their future is grim and uncertain and sealed with dark and dull sky, you can say. They are not at all getting any kind of opportunity since they are illiterate. They are supposed to be poverty stricken, and they are supposed to be the lower strat of the society. Hence they are not getting that kind of opportunity. That is why their future seems to be grim and uncertain, and as earlier said, that it is sealed with a dark and dull sky. Here the poet again says that their world is far away from the actual world of the river and the capes. The last 2 lines you can see over here. And these things are like the stars in the sky which they cannot touch. I mean, these 8 lines actually shows a kind of helplessness of these children who are actually staying in a slums areas, and they don't have that kind of money or they are not at all considered to be the affluent section of the society. Hence, the outer beauty of the world is a kind of dream for them, and there is no hope of getting those beautiful objects of the world, as they are deprived of the basic needs, even uh, of course, for their survivals. And the world's object, or you can say the materialistic world, seems to be still a dream for them, because nobody is there to guide them, nobody is going to give them a right kind of education with the civic amenities of which these children are deprived of. So having the stuffs of rich people is still a kind of dream for them. So this you can consider as explanation of the second stanza, consisting of 8 lines.